All right, we'll get started. It's good to see everyone today. First, we want to send our condolences to the McMichael family. I know he'll never be forgotten as one of the Bears' greats, so I want to make sure I mention that. But then, as you saw, we took Colston Loveland at the 10th pick today. Someone that we're really excited about, both the staff, coaching staff, and the front office coming together. Identifying a guy that we really liked, that we thought had a dynamic skill set, create mismatches. I think more importantly too is in terms of our offense can create, really beef up our 12 personnel. Someone that pairs well with Cole, along with other playmakers, and really creates headaches for a defense to go against. Love his competes, his fire. This kid is. He's physical. He's tough. He plays the game the right way. When you watch the tape, there's an energy level that comes with him, and you can see it throughout the game, and it's infectious to other guys. What stands out, obviously, the dynamic skill set to separate, but also when you really study him in the run game, the blocking is way better than I think people really realize. Over the last 2 years, studying, we did our due diligence with the quarterbacks last year. We watched JJ. This kid stood out as just a different type of player, and I know he's going to add a ton of value to our offense and our entire team. Open up to questions.
Did you have exposure to seeing him live at any point in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I was at Michigan a few times and got to see him, and again, just an impressive kid. He's young. Still has room to grow. That's the scary part with him. So we're excited where he is now, but where he can be.
When you evaluate Ben's vision for what he wants out of 12 personnel and things he can do with them, what do you see as the fit between Ben's vision and Colston's skill set?
Yeah, it's versatile. You can do whatever you need to do. We can run the ball and play a physical brand of football. If you match that with a more physical, bigger personnel group, well, you have a mismatch on your hands as well. So it's multiple, and it allows Ben to, do what he does best, which one is to have a physical brand of football, but also be, creative and do some things that are going to put teams in a pickle.
At what point in the compare him with one in terms of
Yeah, both really good players. There's a lot of conversations there back and forth. Tyler's gonna be a great football player as well. Just in terms of what fits what we want to do a little bit better with the personnel group that we have here on our roster, we thought that the combination of what we have was the better fit.
And what you guys talked about, advantage of your playmaker as opposed to position. So if you can be a playmaker, it doesn't matter if it's a non-premium position. So what did you need to kind of see from him on and off the field to kind of be comfortable taking a tight end that high?
Yeah, like I said, one, for where he is, the dynamic skill set that he has as a receiver paired with the run blocking, it's not just one part of his game. It's the complete, it really in totality of what he can do for us. But just when you turn on that tape, it's just there's plays being made constantly. It's a guy that you can feel confident going to in critical situations, and now there's a lot of them. So that just again puts a stress on the defense.
It's a situation similar to last year where you guys had identified and understood that you guys really, really wanted to get wrong, or was it a situation where because of the flexibility you guys have earned through the process of the offseason, you kind of just let it fall and seeing who was the best player at the time?
Yeah, definitely let the draft board kind of do its thing, which is always puts you in a real comfortable position. You're not forcing certain needs, and I think a lot of mistakes could be made there. So we felt confident with the way that it was going to play out. We were looking at the numbers. We've, made phone calls up and back just to kind of see what the landscape was. Did it make sense for us or not? And at the end of the day, the way it fell, we felt really comfortable with how it worked out.
Was there a moment when it really crystallized that Coulson was a guy specifically that you wanted to target? Like a moment you can recall and say like, oh wow, yeah, we have to have this guy up high on our board.
Yeah. So obviously the tape did its thing. We always want to understand the person and the makeup as well. So another part of our process, we got on the plane and we started moving around the country to see different guys, and we spent time with him, and it was awesome. Like, just wait until he's up here. You'll understand. There's something different about him. Highly intelligent. He can handle a big playbook, and he's gonna be a rookie, so there's gonna be things to go through. But the person, the character, the football makeup, family background. I mean, it's not a joke. Like, Idaho tough. You know, I asked him about his hand strength because not only can you see it when he catches the ball, but when he blocks. And he was like, "Have you ever put up wire fence in Idaho before?" I said, "No." That explains. I mean, he's been doing some labor that kind of makes him who he is. And when you watch the tape, you can see that. And when you all meet him, you'll see that as well.
How do you feel about what's on the board right now with
Yeah.
where your picks are in round 2 tomorrow? A couple offensive tackles came off right at the end of round 1 there.
Yep, I feel really good about where the board is. I think there's some players up there that can make a pretty good impact for our football team. There's also a group of guys that we have at the next group that's like really dependable, tough, like it fits everything we need that we believe can come in and help our football team. If that's starting immediately or eventually being starters, we really like the numbers that are there right now.
You forecasted making calls. Did you come close at all to trying to move up? How close were you considering that?
Yeah, no. When we made those calls up, it took you out, because I think I briefly mentioned this Tuesday. There's a run coming up here that I think you can make a pretty big impact on your football team. So to give up that for one person, so giving up 2 for 1, like and it probably would have been even more than that, but it just didn't make sense.
Ryan, it kind of felt like you had the flexibility, and to Brad's question, going into day 2 with these next couple of picks, is it safe to assume line either side of the ball are gonna be targets for you guys with these picks?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do what we've always done and let the board kind of talk to us. There might be some impact players that aren't in those positions, and it's just gonna, again, when you start leaning on need and you're gonna go down the board and you're staring at this guy that's sitting at the top of the board, it's a tough thing to do in terms of just making an impact on your football team. So
You forecasted a wild early part of the draft. How did this compare to what you were playing out, and what type of scenarios did you have in play that led you to this?
yeah, a little bit. I think there's some movement ahead of us that was unexpected, but I thought there'd be a little bit more. I guess there was at the end. I think there'll be even more tomorrow as well. So I think the amount of phone calls, some of the movement that we saw, maybe it wasn't like wild, but yeah, it was fun.
Compared to the national championship year, their passing game really took a step back at Michigan last year. How did you evaluate Colston's production and just like the ability to stay consistent despite he had JJ one year and then he had multiple quarterbacks and all that transition last year?
Yeah, that's a great question. Not only, so we spent a lot of time understanding the difficulties certain guys go through as you go year to year, as talent around them leaves. And with him, we did feel like there's a level of consistency, and that was a kind of a cool touch point for us too. And I asked him about how'd you handle that? How'd you handle, a younger quarterback or someone that you maybe didn't have like the greatest chemistry or the same chemistry you had the year before, and how he responded to that was just really mature, and it showed good awareness. It showed selflessness. It showed him being a team guy more than just him and his stats, because it went down just a little bit, but you understood why, and the way that he just explained that whole thing I thought was really cool.
When you guys did all your simulations, did you think there'd be 3 tackles taken in the top 9?
Yeah. Yep. This is 4 years now that it's a pretty good tool. Feel comfortable.
Ryan, how do you envision Coulson contributing to Caleb's development in year 2?
Yeah, I think if you look historically, the impact tight ends have had on young quarterbacks is pretty big. So now he's got 2 of them, plus the other guys that we have on the outside and in the backfield. So I think it's going to be really important. And like I said, when you talk about 12 personnel, you got to match that with usually bigger guys. It creates more space in the passing game. So I think there is a multiplier effect that he has on the whole group.